Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. Today is Friday, April the 11th. Technically, this is our last class for the semester. I want to congratulate all of you of a wonderful job you did so far with your projects and all your commitments and all your work. I want to wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors as well. All right. But before we do the formalities and the goodbyes, let's do one more final lesson. I'll see you also at the grad show tonight at the International Graduate Center. So let's begin with the lesson now. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen over, and let's continue with some of the little things we left over. And I like to reiterate for what you need to know for your group submission project with Figma. All right, so let's begin now. I'm sharing my screen here. Um, we left off with the last video of me creating this file that looks like this. And this was a very simple but effective hamburger menu that you can incorporate in your mobile projects. I know the other menus are easy. You just click on a button and it'll go here and there. But what I wanted to show you is how to do an all animation, because we haven't done that in Figma, although we did it in XD. So we're going to do an auto animate. And I'm also going to show you how to do transitions, because they also help with some of the interaction that may be included in your projects. So having said that, I'm going to re-upload this file as today's lesson, and you guys can practice it at home or integrate it that way. Okay. So the way I created it, I created a new artboard here and another one over there. Okay. Maybe I'll just repeat it really quickly just to show you how I did that. This file was from last week. Just to point you in the right direction, you can access that file right from your, the last segment of our UX UI course, usability and testing, class 13 and 14. It's all amalgamated. And you can open up the, actually, maybe it's this one here. I'm going to upload it here if it's not, but maybe we put in the last one here, 11 and 12. So I'm going to upload it here. The file's not here, so I'm going to upload, rather than me uploading the last week file by itself, I'll upload the completed version, okay? So it will be right here when I'm done. As a matter of fact, let me do it right now, and you can have it there for you. So demo.fig, okay, that's the name. Let's just change it up to call it something more substantive, like hamburger with animation, okay? You'll remember that one. So I'm going to upload that one right there, okay? The other links, this is Figma to HTML. Some of you might want to produce websites using Figma. There's a lot of communities that talk about this. There's just a link to get you there. PX Code, another popular version. You can convert Figma to HTML, but this is something you can do when you're done school and you want to experiment and take Figma to the next level. Auto layout, this stuff we covered in class. Portfolio desktop and mobile Fig. That's just another example we did. Plugins at a glance. These are XD files that I taught in the last semester. Just in case some of you want to continue with XD, I'll leave you those files as well, okay? Because let me show you what we did with XD last time. Remember, we switched it. We did a group project as opposed to the portfolio project, because the portfolio project was a little too repetitive with all the classes combined in this course, right? You're doing it in your portfolio class, of course. You're doing a website portfolio, your page layout, and now, the UX UI class would have been another element. So instead of that, it's more efficient to do a proper, like a nice product portfolio of a something different theme, right? But this is what we did in XD a while back. If you want to quickly look at this one here, I'll just press play. It's a very simple prototype. And this is a hamburger menu that looks like this. It was more like a slide out transition. I'll show you how transitions work, because this one basically opens up another screen. It looks like the menu's there, but not really. Goes back and forth. But it did work at the time. You can just go to home, or you can go to biography. You can go back, portfolio. Okay, here's the portfolio here. And you can click on one of these thumbnails. And what happens is it opens up in a separate artboard. And then you can, of course, click on the next one and the next one. It's like a slider carousel, and you can open each one of them individually. And that's how we did a portfolio presentation with this XD file back in those days, right? A few years back. And this is the contact information. And here we have other. So in a nutshell, this is how we build a mobile portfolio app. So this is why I think it's better that we switched things around and you're doing a group presentation instead of doing a portfolio over and over again. Now, if you want to do a portfolio for an app, you can, and you can basically show it off to your friends, family, coworkers, future employers. But nonetheless, I leave that in here for you in case you want to have an idea how it's done. So this is a portfolio file that you can access it. It's an XD, okay? And it's right here. KG mobile version. KG is my company is called Creative Group. So I just use it as an example. I did it in class. Scrolling with animation, that's more like an advanced file too. So these are files you can just explore with. But let's turn our attention back to Figma because that's what you guys are doing for your last project. This is the one I uploaded right now, hamburger with animation. So let's see how that one can effectively produce your projects. So I'm going to go back to Figma here. And this is what the file looked like last week. The difference was these pages did not exist. Okay, these two didn't exist. I made two artboards afterwards. And in addition to, let me just show you the difference between before and after. And then you can kind of see for yourself what we did here. Right. So this is last week's class. So it was a class 13. So drop down sample. I think it's this one here. Let's see. Just gotta remember all these file names. Right. So if you watch last week's lesson video, which should be uploaded right now, it looked like this. Okay. And of course, I know you can dress it up with your graphics and your nice colors, but this is a very simple one that we did. And from this one, I think we just kept it color coordinated, so simple. Supposed to play this. You can see the components, open up different colors, and the colors change to the different parameters, different pages. Okay, so this is on, this closes the window like the X. So this was more like the basic approach to prototyping in a hamburger drop-down navigation method, but this is just more expanded. So we have like a menu. Of course, we made the little hamburger looking icon thing. We put the words in the text and we connected it to each and every artboard. Now, the only thing I did different here was this. Instead of just going here on click, I gave it an animation. So I gave it a push animation. Okay. So this is because I changed the animation to, instead of instant, you can do what's called a transition or an animation. I did different ones. This one did slide in animation, right? This one did a move in. Now, I wouldn't suggest you mix it up like this. You got to stick with one or the other, right? So try to pick one that works for you. And this one, I believe I picked dissolve, something that dissolves. And maybe I'll make it longer. It's too short. I'll do 900 milliseconds, which is almost a second. Okay. So I did different transitions to go to different pages. And on top of it all, I did an animation. Now, I don't think I ever showed you how to do an animation in Figma, but we did it in XD. So all it is this. You select the artboard, you connect the flow to the next artboard, right? And what you do is you don't do click, okay? What you do is you do auto or after delay. After delay means it'll happen by itself. So after delay, and I did it 1800 milliseconds, navigate to intro 2, and then it smart animates ease out 300 milliseconds. I'm going to make it 900 milliseconds as well. Okay. So this is how you do an animation by itself. Or with a click, you can also do animation. But how do you do an auto animation? You just simply connect one artboard to another, just like, this, right? Click on it and just drag it over. Now, here's what happens. This intro thing here, this was positioned on the top. And if you look at my design file, let's go back to design. I gave it an opacity of 10%. So if I make it back to 100%, it'll look like this. But I made it obviously less. So it was 10% so I can see it. So it's very, very faded out. And you can barely see it that way. Just click on this thing again here. 10%, right? And also on page number 2, I brought it back to 100% opacity, right? And I brought it down this way. So over here, it's very, very faded. And over here, it's brought down and it's exploded. And that's the basic animation. I see this with a lot of banks and, most apps have some kind of an animated logo. And you can do that prior to starting even if you've done your project, you can always include this in your existing, user flow and have that in the beginning. And then what happens is from this artboard, right? Going back to prototype here, we also do after delay. So, after a certain amount of time, what happens is we go to, oh, sorry, this is a click. So this one we click enter and that goes to the home page. And this one is an animation. It says move in. The move in means just come in and it'll go up. The direction determines which way it comes in, from the bottom, from the top, from the left, or from the right. So basically, these are just more explore options you can add to your interaction to enhance your presentations. I didn't cover this in great depth. This is why I'm doing it now. And I also, especially the auto animation part, which I know I went over in XD quite a bit, which you guys did that game submission for the game interactive game assignment. So that was well done. But in Figma, this is how you do it. It's no different. You just have to kind of connect it and use the settings from the right here, okay? And all in all, everything else works fine. Just if you watch the hamburger menu instruction that was done last week, I don't want to repeat it again, but I just added some extra transitions with the pages. Let's have a look at how the final project looks. I'm going to press the play button, and this is what we're going to see. There's the intro. So that was an animated. See, like I didn't do anything. I'll go back again. Watch. Less than a second. It animates. And then nothing happens until I click enter, register, sign up, log in. Let's just go do a click. And then this goes up. See, it's a push transition. So if I go to the hamburger menu, I can close it, open it, close it. If I go back to home, oh, I can't go because I purposely disabled it. If I go to about, it slides down, right? If I go to home, it slides left. If I go about, it slides down. Portfolio slides from the bottom up. And this one does dissolve, like a transition. So you can do different ways of interacting with your artboards, and adding transitions is a good way to, go from one page to another, either or, okay? So this is the main thing I wanted to kind of go over with you again, just to wrap things up. It's never too late to add an introduction to your projects, even if you have it done. So consider that, please, because will make it look more complete, maybe a little more realistic or professional. And I think that's about it. I'll leave you alone at this point. If you have any questions, this is why we're here at the campus today. We did decide to postpone this project until all this stuff is due. I know next week is your last week here. So we're going to go till the following week on a Tuesday. That's your deadline to submit your group projects. So I gave you plenty of time, no excuse not to do it, right? Or to get it done, because by then all the other projects will be already submitted. So you have the extra weekend. I know it's Easter, but I mean, after you do your family stuff, perhaps you can get together with your group members and get it done. And let's face it, Your new family is your friends you made here at the school now. So sometimes you guys can be together for Easter. Who knows? All right. So having said all that, let me just also go over some of the particulars here on Blackboard. But make sure when you guys submit this project, okay, when you go to your projects here, a group presentation, okay, here, I want to see a video of your presentation. Now, one group I had to do their presentation today. So what I told them to do was to submit a Word document or a text file telling me the date of the time they presented and their group members. And I'll consider that because I do recall watching them present. And that's an exception because they did it today. The rest of you have to do a video presentation, upload it, all of you together. I don't know how you do it. You can do it with Google, you can do it with Teams, whatever you prefer. Upload the presentation there, please. Okay, so that's, and all of you submit the same thing. I'm not gonna know who's in your group. Okay, I have 43 students, and not to mention the other classes I have. So for me to like, remember who's who, just everybody submit the same thing. So when you do a group presentation, I want to see the video here. Okay, and for the mobile app project, you would zip a file, and in that file, you save the Figma file. Just so in case you forgot, how do you save a Figma file? Look at this. Save local copy. Please remember that, because this is the biggest thing right here. The local copy is what you upload with your PDF, with all your files. You zip that, and that's how you submit your final project, okay? And that goes in here. And then those are the two items you need to do. And I pushed the deadline. I know it still says Friday, April the 18th because of the holidays. We have Easter Friday and Easter Monday. So I couldn't even do Monday because of the holiday situation. So I gave you guys till Tuesday, which is the 22nd of April. So you do have more than a week and a few days to get this done. And that should be ample amount of time. Okay. I'll do the same thing with the actual group presentations as well. This is a special exception because of the circumstances, but I don't mind because my grades are due the next day, I think. So I have to do everything that week. So please make sure you hand everything in because then it's hard to do the final grading for you guys. So we covered all the different UX, UI segments. I hope you did a good job delivering the course to you guys. We covered the two most popular programs, from XD to Figma to wrap it up. Just by looking at your projects, I know you guys learned a lot, but doesn't stop here. Okay, always keep learning, always keep upgrading your skill. You want to connect with me with LinkedIn? I'll be more than happy to accept you. If you already sent me the invitation, I apologize for the delays because I've been very swamped and busy with things, but I'll be happy to keep our connection that way professionally. And I wish you all the luck and success going forward, guys. I'll see you tonight at the presentation at the International Graduate School. Okay, I keep calling it center. It's a school. And that's it for now. This wraps up the course. I'm going to turn on my camera again, and I'll see you guys tonight. Best of luck, and keep going strong, guys. I know you'll do a good job, and enjoy the rest of your year. Bye for now.